even if the pack is really strong.
And do you think Adrian David has incredible speed, as we've seen from testing, qualifying, free practice the whole way? Are you confident that you can find the pace to stay ahead? I mean, 9 cars between you, but it's still going to be a job.
Yeah, it will be tough, but Adrian, yeah, I mean, he has a really good pace this weekend. Last weekend was not the case, but sometimes it happens, so we will work as hard as possible to do the job and finish on top of the podium.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the Formula Regional Asian Championship, certified by FIA from the Dubai Autodrome for race 5 of the 2022 season. Some fantastic racing yesterday, as you saw in the highlights, presented us with 4th different winner of the season. Young Frenchman Adrian David taking his first win after being the pace setter for much of the round since arriving at the Dubai circuit. There is the championship points, and consistency remains key. David recovered from a tough start to the season at Yas Marina, as did Pepe Marti, the Pinnacle Motorsport driver, at one stage looking to take the lead from David yesterday. The pair going on to claim valuable championship points, as did pole sitter Sebastian Montoya, the 16-year-old Colombian, admitting the team hadn't quite nailed the optimum setup for the opening race, but instead he settled for 3rd and returned to the top of the championship point standings. High-Tech Grand Prix still on top in the team's classification, and Montoya, of course, was on top of the rookie classification coming into the 4th race. He extends that advantage, holds a lead of some 36 points now over Pepe Marti. It was interesting up until yesterday's race 4 of 15 for the 2022 season that it was the pole sitter that would go on and win the race. The pole sitter, of course, yesterday was Sebastian Montoya. Here is the revised layout for this weekend. We had come here expecting to run on the GP circuit. They made a late decision to go back to the international circuit, which takes 1.1 kilometre and a whole bunch of corners out of the layout. 11 turns, clockwise rotation, and 4.29 kilometres the race journey. First opened in October 2004, the Formula Regional Asian Championship. Lap record up to this point was set last year by China's Guanyu Zhou, who went on to claim the title with 135.405, and that was absolutely decimated in the opening race. We were well below that mark. As you can see, the calendar, we are 5 weeks all back to back. We had testing leading up to the opening round at Yas Marina, 21st to 23rd of June. And it's this weekend at Dubai, next weekend at Dubai. 2 weeks' time we will still be in Dubai, and then back to Abu Dhabi and the Yas Marina circuit, which presented such fantastic racing last weekend and certainly closed the 2021 Formula One World Championship in style. Let's hope we don't have to go that far down to the end of the championship, but the racing has been so close. 4 races, 4 different winners. What will today bring? Of course, we saw the return of Pierre-Louis Chauvet. He finished 10th. 10th in the first race gives you pole position for the second race. Unlike past seasons, the top 10 from race 1 are inverted. That is your grid for positions 1 through 10 for the start of race 2. Finishing positions, 11 through 26 in that first race continue to be the starting positions for this race. So Pierre-Louis Chauvet, a 6-time winner last time out in the season that saw him take the fight to Guanyu Zhou. In fact, the Chinese driver was quite a distance behind in championship points going to the last round of the championship, but he managed to come through and take the victory. Chauvet given the call up by the Black Arts Racing operation, which, as was explained to me earlier, is now no longer based in Zhuhai. It's now based between Sepang in Malaysia and Ningbo circuit, not far from Shanghai in China, as we get ready to go for a start for race 5 of the 2022 Formula Regional Asian Championship. The grid, as we saw earlier, Pierre-Louis Chauvet starts from pole alongside Arthur Leclerc, who's still in championship contention. And with Gabriel Mini failing to finish for the second race yesterday, the high-tech driver will take no further part in the championship after this afternoon's 6th race of the season. He will return to Europe to continue his preparations for the year ahead. Arthur Leclerc is right in the championship hunt with his teammate in the Mumbai Falcons team. Of course, that would be championship points leader Sebastian Montoya. Second row for the start of this race, Isaac Hadjar and Delano Vanterhoff, who missed the opening round of the season due to health concerns. He's back fighting fit for this weekend and will start from the second row of the grid. Gabriel Bortoleto will start alongside Dino Begonovic in the third of the Mumbai Falcons entries. Fourth row shared by America's Jack Crawford alongside points leader Sebastian Montoya, and Pepe Marti and Hadrian David, the 1-2 from the opening race here at the Dubai Autodrome, will start on the fifth row. Leonardo Fornaroli and Josh Dufek on row 6. Lorenzo Flusha and Nicola Marinangeli on row 7. Paul Aron and Frederick Lubin on row 8. David Morales and Levent Herves on row 9. Oliver Goethe and Hamda Al-Kabaisi on row 10. Ayato Iwasaki and Khalid Al-Kabaisi, who of course is leading the field in the Masters entry this weekend. The Masters classification rather. Sully Jolic also in the Masters classification alongside the third of the Masters entries, Thomas Ludi, who is the championship points leader after a fairly tough run for both Khalid Al-Kabaisi and Sully Jolic last time out in Abu Dhabi. And Gabriel Mini, the championship points leader, coming into this event yesterday morning, back starting from the 13th row alongside Amna Al-Kabaisi, who unfortunately was a retirement. Both those drivers starting from rear of field were retirements in race number 4. So that sets your grid, 30 minutes race duration. Safety cars have been a feature so far of the 2022 Formula Regional Asian Championship. Let's hope we don't see too much of them this time round. Races 1 and 4 of the championship have finished under safety car. Adrian David, though, had done the job yesterday. His pace since arriving here in Dubai had been absolutely fantastic. Had a tough run, failed to finish 2 of the races at Abu Dhabi. And the Frenchman made up for that very nicely. It's certainly been the pace setter here this weekend, and you could expect to see him move further forward. But pole goes to the runner-up of the 2021 season, and that, of course, is Pierre-Louis Chauvet for Black Arts Racing. He is on right of field, or left of field at the moment. As you look at the rear of the grid, he will start from pole alongside Arthur Leclerc for Mumbai Falcons. Keep a close eye on these two. As the lights go out, we're underway. And race 5, the 2022 season is underway. Looks like all the field have got away cleanly this time round. It'll be jostling for positions further back. They need to be fairly careful doing too much of that. Open wheelers do present a bit more of an issue when you're trying to battle over position. A good dive down the inside, but that certainly looks like Isaac Hadjar, who's jumped into position 3. But Arthur Leclerc takes over the lead of this race. Pierre-Louis Chauvet already back in position number 2. And he'll be looking to try and recover from that as side by side for Isaac Hadjar. What a miraculous move. That is fantastic to take away position number 2. What a good job from the Red Bull junior driver. He has really done fantastic things in this championship. Was very racy at the first round. Big brake lock-up rather for Pierre-Louis Chauvet. 4th place there is likely Dino Begonovic, the second or third rather of the Mumbai Falcons entries. Oh, good fight back from Chauvet. He's not going to give up that position lightly to the man right under his rear wing. But something's happened to the race leader. Something's gone on there. That's unfortunate for Arthur Leclerc. Oh, he's come back again. This is really great racing. Or is that in fact Dino Begonovic? Let's take a good look at this. There's been contact further back, and that's a setback too. It's the 27 entry, Delano Vanterhoff, and safety car has already picked up the field. So frustration. Delano Vanterhoff was starting from inside the top 10, in fact starting from the second row. So whilst we're calling positions, excuse me if I've missed what's gone on there. We'll certainly see a replay if we have that in the EVS. But currently, as we cross the line for the first time, Arthur Leclerc leads this race. So in all the mix-up there between the two Mumbai Falcons entries. Certainly Arthur Leclerc, who's moved to the front of the field. Pierre-Louis Chauvet holds down position number 2. Isaac Hadjar still in position 3. Dino Begonovic in position 4. Pepe Marti up already to position number 5 from the 5th row. That's a great start by him. Leonardo Fornaroli in position number 6. Adrian David up to position 7. Yesterday's winner. Lorenzo Flusha in position 8. Nicola Marinangeli in position 9. Sebastian Montoya holding down position number 10 as a recovery vehicle goes after the unfortunate Delano Vanterhoff. Now, Gabriel Bortoletto and Oliver Goethe aren't shown as having passed more than... just trying to find which part of the circuit, which sector they have logged, but they seem to have been stopped on the circuit. I can't see a P symbol at the moment, so I wonder whether they too have been caught up in that. There's Delano Vanterhoff starting from position 4, Bortoletto starting from position number 5. Oliver Goethe was a little bit further back down the order. He was starting this race from the 10th row, position number 19. So those are 3 cars that are further back. So if we go back from position 10, which is Sebastian Montoya, David Morales up to position 11. That's a good run for him. Just checking where he in fact started this race. He started from position 17, so he's made up 6 spots. Paul Aaron in position 12, Frederick Lubin position 13, Joshua Dufek in position 14, Levent Hervez in position number 15, Jack Crawford. Unfortunately, despite starting from position 7, here's a replay. Let's see if we can see what's happened here. This is the battle for the front of the field. Leclerc, Pierre-Louis Chauvet. No, it's just cut out as we're looking to see whether or not there had been some contact. I'm working my way down the standings as we have them at the moment. So Jack Crawford's dropped back from position number 7 to position number 16. So across the line to put 2 laps in the books. Unfortunately, behind safety car once more. Gabriel Mini's up to position 17. He started from position number 25. Hamda Al-Kabasi, who started in position number 20. He is currently in position 18. Sally Jolic has taken on the lead of the Masters division. He's in position 19. Ayata Iwasaki in 20. Amna Al-Kabasi in position 21. A father, Khalid Al-Kabasi, position number 2, just marginally ahead of Thomas Liudi, the second of the Black Arts Racing entries. He is in position number 23 and the last classified runner in this field of 26. So at the moment, Delano Vanterhoff, who we saw damage to the left front, it seemed, from memory of the pinnacle. We have something a little over 22 minutes left in this race, with the field having been bunched up again. Now is the time to try and make a move forward. Very hard wearing, hard compound GT Compete GTR1 tyres, 3 sets from opening official practice through to the end of race 3. And if history tells us anything, those tyres wear very, very nicely and don't present much of an issue for the drivers. It's not something they seem to have to need to manage. Track temperature somewhere in the mid to high 20s. Ambient temperature in about 20-21 degrees. Humidity was up a little bit over yesterday, up to 63%, and fairly light winds blowing this weekend. Go back to last weekend, we had blustery winds up to 35 kilometres per hour, which made things interesting depending on which part of the circuit the drivers were in. I think it was more age and optimism that perhaps led to the safety car interventions last time round. Certainly things are a lot cleaner this weekend. I fear the drivers may well have been told that track limits was going to be an issue again this weekend. A number of drivers were penalised last time round, and certainly a number of drivers have been given the wrath of the race director as this weekend has progressed, but it's been fairly tidy so far. Here's a dive down the inside. Begonovic looks up the inside, trying to take position 3 away from Isaac Hadjar, but Hadjar really was a bit of a standout as the Red Bull Driving Academy driver, the Red Bull Junior Team driver. Need to get your driving academies in the right order at the opening round at Abu Dhabi, and certainly was contending for race wins during at least two of those races. Unfortunately was positioned in the wrong spot and fed over curbs a couple of times, which dropped him back down the order. And when you've got a field as classy and as close as the field we have this year for the Formula Regional Asian Championship, one slight slip and a mere loss of half a tenth or so can open the door for the driver right behind you. And 4 winners in 4 races has shown that things can be very tight at the front of the field. Arthur Leclerc circulates one more time. He's half a second up. Pierre-Louis Chauvet has suddenly found something in that box of tricks. And the Frenchman has moved up right under the rear wing. Less than half a second now separates him from Arthur Leclerc, as again Dino Begonovic fights to try and take away position number 3 from Isaac Hadjar. But he also has to watch out. Pepe Marti not too far behind him. The young Spaniard looking to try and gain some more valuable championship points. Be careful running too wide. Position number 6, Lorenzo Flusha, has made a position forward. Leonardo Fornaroli has just dropped back a couple of positions, the High Tech Grand Prix driver. And talking about High Tech Grand Prix, let's take a quick look down the order. Gabriel Mini up to position number 16. Now, Hadrian David has also moved forward. He's now in position number 6 rather, not too far behind Pepe Marti. He will just be off the tail of this trio. Next driver in order, top of the hill, just coming through now. He's got a little bit of work to do, a second back from Pepe Marti. He's taken Leonardo Fornaroli for position. Nicola Marinangeli in position 9. Sebastian Montoya is just 3 tenths behind. In fact, the battle for position 8, 3 tenths between Fornaroli and Marinangeli, and 3 tenths between Marinangeli and Montoya. Just 2 tenths further back then to Paul Aram. So it's a 4-way fight over position 8 back behind this group. But certainly Pierre-Louis Chauvet is showing why he's already a 6-time winner in this championship, which is the 4th most victories in the Formula Regional Asian Championship, or its predecessor, of course, the F3 Asian Championship. F3 now allocated for the FIA Championship that follows along with F1 and F2. We're now into the regional championships. Many of these drivers progressing from Formula Regional Asian into Formula Regional European in season 2022. This is the perfect start to their year. You can see top of screen, that's that battle for, well, it's become 7th position, or further back for 8th position. But what does Pierre-Louis Chauvet have? Highest number of victories in the 2021 season, 6 victories. But he would lose the championship ultimately after falling back at the last round of the season at Abu Dhabi. He went in with a quite comfortable lead. I think it was about 32 points, but ultimately lost the championship by 26 points thanks to 2 victories and a 2nd place finish for Guanyu Zhou and the Abu Dhabi Racing by Prema operation. For Pinnacle Motorsports, Pierre-Louis Chauvet, 6 wins for the season. In fact, he was on the podium 7 times, but consistency we talk about being key in this championship. 4 wins for Guanyu Zhou, but ultimately 11 podium finishes handed the Chinese driver the victory in the championship and set him up for his F2 season, ultimately a drive in the Formula One World Championship this year in the Alfa Romeo team. Of course, talking about Alfa Romeos, these cars all powered by a 270 horsepower 4-cylinder turbocharged 1750 TBI Alfa Romeo engines, and all cars in all drivers rather in identical Tardis Auto Technica built ATM ARF3R chassis. And we've seen some big accidents rather in these cars over the years, and the safety built into them, certainly with the halo, but it doesn't start and stop there. Crash structures in the side and the front and the rear. A failure to record retirements, or if they do, it's usually only 1 or 2, and those are the drivers that'll go through into the top classification of this championship. So it's important to finish in the top 5. It's important to finish on the podium. It's also important to take victories when you have a field as stellar as this one. Talking to Pierre-Louis Chauvet, Nicky Kemp earlier in the weekend about how this year's field compares to the field of 2021. Of course, like all of these young drivers, most of the field is 17 or younger. In fact, 2/3 of the field very well versed in media etiquette and haven't been too drawn on pointing out who they think might or might not be the threats for the championship. They're just focused on racing their own race, and that is, of course, the way things should be approached. As we put lap number 8 in the books, the difference at the front of the field, just under 0.4 of a second between Arthur Leclerc, the race leader, and Pierre-Louis Chauvet for Black Arts Racing. Position number 3 is dropped to 1.5 seconds back from the battle at the front of the field is Isaac Hadjar, but he's got Dino Begonovic just half a second behind him. And Hadrian David now has taken Lorenzo Flusha and Pepe Marti, who's dropped back now to position number 7. We're talking about just how comfortable he has been, Hadrian David, around this circuit. The 3Y by R Ace GP entry now up to position number 5 and under 0.4 of a second off the tail of Dino Begonovic. You can see them just at top of screen. Lorenzo Flusha back in 6, Pepe Marti in position 7, Leonardo Fornaroli in position 8. Sebastian Montoya has jumped up to position number 9 from Paul Aron. Nicola Marinangeli has dropped back to position number 11. Jack Crawford is back on his way forward after starting from position 7. The young American now holding down position number 12. Frederick Lubin, another moving forward up to 13, although it looks like he has lost that position immediately ahead of him to Jack Crawford. David Morales in position 14. Gabriel Mini up to 15. Joshua Dufek in position 16. The young Swiss high-tech Grand Prix entry. We saw a better run from him at Abu Dhabi, and to be back down in position 16 leaves him with a little bit of work as we head into this afternoon's 6th race of the season. This is getting very racy at the front of the field. Pierre-Louis Chauvet really wants to impress upon the Black Arts Racing operation that he has what it takes to return to the top of the championship standings at some point, of course, but he's got a long way to go, having missed the opening round, but certainly to stand on the top step of the podium. Doing a very nice job applying pressure to Arthur Leclerc. Can he find a way through? This is very much shades of what Sebastian Montoya in the other of the Mumbai Falcons entries faced. Oh, he looks up the inside, but there's no move there for Chauvet. But what they've done now by battling so hard is they've opened the door. Isaac Hadjar doesn't need another invitation. He's going to throw his nose down the inside. You've also got Dino Begonovic, and Hadrian David is closing in. He's bringing Lorenzo Flusha with him. This could very soon be a 6-way fight for the front of this field with just over 12 minutes remaining. Oh, the leaders protecting ground. It looked like Chauvet was going to get it. Leclerc's running wide. That's opened the door now for Hadjar. Begonovic has taken the position 2. So now Chauvet is back to position number 4. And very soon that's going to become position number 5 as race 4 winner. Hadrian David is up to position number 4. Chauvet makes the crossover as they run across the line to put 10 laps in the books. He may well take that position back. But Hadrian David has got himself to the front before in competition on this circuit. He did it so very nicely around Sebastian Montoya in yesterday's 4th race. Begonovic now looks, well, he's taken position from Hadjar. He's tried to take position from Hadjar, hasn't. So it's Leclerc, Hadjar, Begonovic, Chauvet holding comfortably now position 4. So he's gotten away from Hadrian David, who's under fire now from Lorenzo Flusha. Pepe Marti's moving back into the equation, the red and black colour of Pinnacle Motorsport, a little bit further back. As it's a 4-way battle at the front of the field now for the lead. Not too far behind is the second group of cars as Leclerc just focuses on his race line, making sure he's hitting apexes. Not too worried now about that battle behind. Hadjar is contending with both Begonovic and Chauvet. And now it is a Mumbai Falcons 1-2 as Begonovic has moved into position number 2. Hadjar, though, hasn't given up. He will fight back. Been very impressive so far in this championship. The Red Bull entry for High Tech Grand Prix. So it's Mumbai Falcons 1 and 2 to lead out to 1.1 seconds. Bogdanovic in second. Hadjar in position number 3. Hadrian David. Chevet now tries to fight back. He was looking to try and take the lead from Arthur Leclerc in that battle over position. All the protecting that, running into the race line, or certainly into the apex corners. That's opened the door for that battle for third to close in, and now it's a 7-way fight towards the front of the field. Pepe Marti at the tail end of that group, 3.2 seconds covering them. Fornarelli back in position 8. Paul Aaron in 9, and Jack Crawford, for those fans in the US, will be very happy to work his way back up to position number 10. Hadjar under fire from Chauvet. He's tried it again. It hasn't quite worked out. Oh, but what it's done is it's opened the door. Look at this fantastic racing. This is just what team bosses want to see. Good, tight, close racing. Changes for position. Drivers willing to just throw on the inside. Of course, avoiding contact on the inside. Of course, avoiding contact, because that does nothing for your championship, and I'm sure all these team bosses have explained that too. Make it tight. Make the move stick. Avoid contact at all costs. Championship points go missing in the event of a DNF, as the two Mumbai Falcons entries at the front of this field are taking full advantage of that battle over position number 3 to be 1-2 in this race. This is exactly what Arthur Leclerc needs. Now the yellow flag's out. I see it on the main straight. Let's hope that doesn't lead to a safety car. That's not the indication we're seeing on the timing monitors at the moment. So something may well have happened. No, safety car. The SC board is out. Frustrating for Arthur Leclerc to open up what had been a nice, comfortable margin. 1.5 seconds over his teammate, who was 2.7 seconds clear then of Isaac Hadjar. That's now gone. Let's see if we can find exactly what's taken place there. Sebastian Montoya, the championship points leader, is the driver missing in the timing. In fact, you'll excuse me, because whilst I've been focused on this fantastic racing at the front of the field, Montoya has been off circuit, or off the timing monitors for 2 laps. Only 10 laps in the books for the young Colombian. This is not what he needs. Because setbacks are part of these championships, but consistency and finishing races is what this is all about. So for Montoya, the championship points leader, this is devastating. This opens the door now for Arthur Leclerc, who came into this round third in championship points, 42 points to Sebastian Montoya's 53. If he can maintain this position, a full 25 points for taking victory would move him on to 67 points. Montoya at this stage will get no further addition to his point score, and that would put him 14 points behind his teammate. Now, who else will move forward in this race? Borletto is, well, he seems to have dropped, well, he dropped further down the order earlier in this race, excuse me, so his championship points won't be so great. He was a share of third with Arthur Leclerc. Jack Crawford, 36 points, so it is important for Crawford to be moving forward. He's now up to position number 9 by virtue of Montoya's, well, we say retirement. He may have pulled into the pits and be able to rejoin this race, but at 2 laps down, and championship points only paying down to position number 10. The young American-based Colombian, unfortunately, will take a big hit to his championship points lead. Now, Crawford is on 36 points. Montoya was on 53. Isaac Hadjar will take advantage of a solid result. He could well add another 15 if he manages to maintain position number 3. That would move him on to 46 points provisionally, and further forward in this championship, and that could put him inside the top 3 or 4 as we head to this afternoon's 6th race of 15 for the 5th year, the 5th season of the Formula Regional Asian Championship, certified by FIA, formerly of course known as the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA. Safety car, sadly, leading the field around again. Tyre temperature will be critical. That was one thing we saw with Montoya at Abu Dhabi. He was very, very good at maintaining tyre temperature in those control GT tyres. and was able to get away from his rivals. In fact, one of those, of course, was Isaac Hadjar. Showed a lot of promise at Abu Dhabi in the opening races, but often got caught in the wrong part of the circuit when racing became 2 and 3 wide, and that ultimately led to him finishing the opening round a little bit further down the championship points order than he would have liked. Good recovery now, but those lessons are certainly filed away for safekeeping as he embarks on his 2022 season. Certainly a lot of drivers outside of Red Bull themselves, but a lot of people in motorsport mark Hadjar as being a part of the future of international motorsport, and certainly there will be a number of names in this field. Gabriel Mini, Sebastian Montoya, Charles Leclerc, the list goes on. Jack Crawford, already considered to be one of the top rising stars in international motorsport. Again, 2/3 of this field are 17 or younger, just under 2/3 if I'm going to be 100% accurate. It is a very young field of drivers. Of course, there are Masters entries in the field that are doing battle in their championship. Khalid Al-Khabaisi had returned to the championship points lead after a DNF by Thomas Ludi in yesterday's race. The Hong Kong-based Swiss driver, 73 points, and Sally Jolic, unfortunately, 2 DNFs and 2 second-place finishes so far in the 4 rounds to date have him further down the championship order. The Pinnacle Motorsports driver in position number 3 on 36 points. Montoya's lead may well be maintained in the Rookie Cup classification, although Pepe Marti, who is currently in position number 7 and second in those standings, may take over the points lead there with Montoya's DNF, and he hasn't gone any further. We're at 14 laps in the books now. Just 3 minutes to go, so it's going to be a big charge to the finish line. We haven't seen the vehicle recovery, so hopefully there was no contact anywhere for Montoya. The last thing he needs, with about 3.5 hours between race number 5 and race number 6 this afternoon, is for the team to be rebuilding the car. As we get set, let's hope for a restart. 2 minutes 45 left on the clock. Leclerc, Begonovic, Hadjar, David, Chauvet, Flusha, Marti, Fornaroli, Crawford, Aaron are your top 10. Safety car continuing to lead the field. Marinangeli, Lubin, Mini, Dufek, Ereves, Morales, Al-Khabaisi, Hamder Al-Khabaisi, 17th, Iwasaki, Amna Al-Khabaisi and Khalid Al-Khabaisi are your top 20. Sally Jolic in position 21, and Thomas Ludi, the last of the runners at the moment, as they cross the line to put 15 laps in the books. And sadly, it looks like we may well be crossing the line under yellow flag conditions. No news yet on what's happened with Sebastian Montoya. Keep up to date with the social media platforms and f3asia.com as the information is updated. But of course, we will have more information for you this afternoon when we get to round 6 of 15 for the 2022 Formula Regional Asian Championship. Sadly, clock down to 1.5 minutes, and we're only a few corners into this particular lap, and I would suggest we are going to finish race the second race this weekend under safety car. This will be the third from 5 to have finished under safety car. The opening race of the season at Abu Dhabi finished behind safety car, but by that stage Sebastian Montoya from pole position had done enough to claim the victory. Arthur Leclerc has certainly weathered the storm during this race. Pierre-Louis Chauvet, Isaac Hadjar, lights are off. Well, let's see, 47 seconds to go. They have released the field. We may have one more flying lap. What will happen over the ensuing 4.29 kilometres? Charles Leclerc leads the field. His teammate Dino Begonovic behind. Third place to Isaac Hadjar. And Leclerc's underway. I think we're going to make the start line. 23 seconds to go to be able to record one more lap. Arthur Leclerc, Dino Begonovic, Isaac Hadjar, Hadrian David is the threat, now in position 4. Lorenzo Flusha, his teammate behind him, Pierre-Louis Chauvet, in position number 6. Pepe Marti in position number 7. Flag waving further back. Not sure what that was for. There may well still be a little bit of debris on the circuit. But up front, Arthur Leclerc crosses the line. 0.56 seconds clear of his teammate, who may just elect to hold on to position number 2. Of course, all these drivers want to take a win. If Leclerc can manage to get to the finish line first, we will have our 5th different winner in 5 rounds, and that really is a point of difference from past seasons when a number of different drivers have dominated. Certainly there's only been a small handful in past seasons. Go back a couple of years when Ukyo Sasahara and high-tech teammate Jack Doohan dominated, I think, all but one race for that season. But so far, we have had 4 different winners. This could be win number 1 for Arthur Leclerc and potentially make him the championship points leader as we go into race 6 this afternoon. It's been an epic championship so far. Certainly Begonovic doesn't look to have anything from the driver from Monaco. Isaac Hadjar likewise unable to make an impression on Begonovic in front of him, and Hadrian David looks like he may well have to settle for position number 4. We come to the finish line, and there you are. Mumbai Falcons 1-2. Arthur Leclerc takes victory in race number 5 of the 2022 season. Dino Begonovic crosses the line in position 2. Isaac Hadjar, Hadrian David, Lorenzo Flusha, Pierre-Louis Chauvet holds on to position number 6 after menacing at the front of the field and looking for a return to victory lane. Pepe Marti in position number 7. Leonardo Fornaroli in position 8. Jack Crawford in position 9. Paul Aaron in position 10. Nicola Marinangeli in 11th. Frederick Lubin takes position number 12. Gabriel Mini from 25th on the grid up to 13th. Levent Hervez in position number 14. David Morales 15th. Joshua Jufek position 16. Hando Kabasi takes position number 17 from Ayato Iwasaki. Position number 18 for Iwasaki. Position 19 for Amna Al-Kabasi. Khaled Al-Kabasi takes Masters Honours from Sally Jolic and Thomas Luni, who will be last classified driver in this field. Make sure you rejoin us this afternoon as we go live once more at 2:05 p.m. local UAE time. That's Greenwich Mean Time +4 for race number 6 of the 2022 Formula Regional Asian Championship.